Hey, welcome back to Flannel Farms. My name is Brian and I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to cover 3 things that you need to start your backyard flock. Now, technically it's 4 things if you include the chickens themselves. And we're going to actually talk about picking the right chicken at the end. First, what are the 3 things that you need to start your flock in your backyard? Chickens need food, water, and shelter. We're going to cover how you do that right now.
Chickens need way more than 4 things. He didn't even ask the chicken what it wanted. What about advanced degrees? What about companionship? This guy's a kook.
First, let's talk shelter. There's essentially 2 types of ways that you can keep chickens. There are coops with built-in runs like this. This is a modified version of the Joel Salatin tractor. We are currently using it as a brooder, which you don't want a brooder. I'll tell you why in a minute. Back area here is the coop. Front area is the run, all enclosed. If you are in a backyard that doesn't have a fence, or it's not a secure fence, you have dogs, something like that, a coop with a built-in run is probably your best idea. Don't go to the tractor company that shall not be named and spend $300 or $400 on something. I built one of those in about 4 hours using roughly $50 worth of material. I have a video about it, which we'll link below. The other option is the free range option. Now, if you don't have many predators, or you do have a fenced-in backyard, then what you need is a coop, and then the netting, if you have a fence, works. At night, you close them up in the coop, and that is free range, essentially, in your backyard. If you do have predator pressure, or you don't have a fence, or anything like that, you can use this electric netting. A little more expensive, but it will protect your birds. For terms of cost savings, I recommend that you use more of a Joel Salatin chicken tractor. You don't have to build a coop that size either. You can build one like this. Much smaller, easier to use, and the framing acts like a roost. It's nice if you have something for chickens to roost on. They like to sleep on that, but they don't have to. If they are in a secure, protected coop, they will be okay.
What about living inside? He didn't even mention that. Do you want to live in a coop? Do you want to be chained inside? If your couch is good enough for you, it's good enough for your chickens.
Next, water. Everybody runs out and buys these. These are known as bell waterers. It's shaped like a bell. But what ends up happening, and I hate these, is all this ring here gets trash, dirt, bird poop, and everything else in it. They're gross. I don't like them at all. Chickens will drink out of anything. If there's water, they will drink out of it. Now, my favorite type of waterer is this. This is a 5-gallon bucket, and these are called nipple waterers. When you push on them, see the water coming out? It's like a 5/8 drill bit, and you can get a 20-pack of these things on Amazon for like 10 bucks. You fill a 5-gallon bucket of water, you put a lid on it, and you're good for, depending on how many chickens you have, quite a long time. I also have a video on that we'll link below. But because it's enclosed, and they can't spill it, they can't get poop in it, they really, really like it. And I really like it because I can fill it every 3 or 4 days. Much more sanitary than those nasty bell waterers. Cheaper too.
What about bottled water? I can't believe he doesn't give his chickens Fiji. It's from the purest place on earth. He must hate his animals so much. He's a hater.
And last but not least, there's feed. Now, feed can be done in a whole bunch of different ways. You can go out there with a bucket and just chuck enough for them for the day. Our chickens eat mostly slop. Or you can build the feeder, like we did in the video below, where it constantly feeds them. It's waterproof. You don't have to refill it every 5 minutes. If you only have enough chickens in your backyard for you and your family, like 4, 5 maybe, 6, you can probably feed them with scraps from your table, so I wouldn't even worry about a feeder. So far we've eliminated a feeder, a fancy waterer, and expensive housing. So, what is my pro tip, if you will, for you guys, is don't buy chicks. Now, of course, chicks are adorable. They're a lot of fun to have on the property. But if you have chicks, that means you need a brooder, you need a heat lamp, you need special food. So skip the baby chick part and go straight to pullets. One of the things you need to look out for though, when you're buying a full-size laying bird, is that they're not old used up birds. Now, as long as they are past the specialty baby bird feed stage, that's good. But you certainly don't want an old bird. I'm gonna show you what an old bird looks like. So these are two birds in their prime. Shiny feathers, good size, healthy looking, good layers. Do a little search and look up older birds and you'll see what older chickens look like. There's a pretty good stark contrast. So it's significantly cheaper to get a full-grown bird than it is to get chicks.
Oh my gosh, he's an ageist. He just demonstrated ageism to a T. What about all the wisdom older birds have to share? You don't just put them out to pasture. How shallow.
And that's pretty much it, my friends, to get started on your own backyard flock. Food, shelter, water. Very easy. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a pure vegetarian diet because, what do you know, chickens are omnivores. They eat everything. They are pretty much God's dumpsters with beaks. There's a few things you shouldn't feed them. Things like avocado skins and green potatoes, pokeweed, etc. But for the most part, they will leave alone whatever they're not supposed to eat, and they will eat whatever they are supposed to eat. You don't need health insurance for them. Syringe. Scalpel. Rag. Rag! Forceps. I think she's gonna make it. You don't have to take out a second mortgage to buy their housing. Our ancestors didn't. For the most part, they ran around wild and at night they roosted. So if you're in a backyard, don't let the intimidation factor get to you. Find somebody that's selling birds, make sure they're not old, and put them in your backyard. Chickens are very, very easy. And they will turn your scraps into delicious, healthy food. Thanks for joining us today here at the farm. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Please subscribe. And we'll see you next time here at Flannel Farms. Bye.